raised his head, realization dawning on his face. "Oh my god," he said, you're right, I had no idea you were coming." "The human imagination is a limitless engine," said Weiss, "and dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out." "Thank you," said the mayor. "I don't know how I can repay you." "Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place." The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. "Good luck, you two," he called at the departing forms of myself and Weiss. "We're all counting on you." As I slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of deja vu. I saw this man once before, he thought, but where? My mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find an exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around them. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on a rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Weiss was proving to be a spectacularly poor travelling companion, unhindered by either terrain or physical effort. He spent most of his time urging myself to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Weiss muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, I snapped. "You know what, Weiss?" he cried. "Go to hell, we're stopping, I need to rest for a few minutes before I throw up." I leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots back up from his back. "How can this stupid forest be so goddamn big?" he muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, I don't know how you say that word, cacophony of insects sprang to life. As if infuriated by his lack of respect, every imaginable form of a buzz, click, and hiss roared out with a volume that rattled his teeth. Slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard, "Weiss, what the hell is going on?" Could see Weiss's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insect screamed, the forest howled, and then just as TRW's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, TRW removed the hands from his left ear, or removed the hand from the left ear, and listened to the creatures of the woods. I'm not saying that. What the fuck? Shack. Okay. Woman. Woman. Chic. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, TRW began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise, it's something else. The insects weren't just calling out, they were asking a question. 1 with it suffers, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous, what is it? By my pages, is this a riddle? It's called the Forest of Myth. I guess so, this kind of thing happens a lot in dreams, right? Maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. And I leave you to the answer. I leave it to you to answer. One with it suffers. A woman? A secret? I think? Really furious that Weiss left the task to him, TRW sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret. Right? Some of the insects stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before TRW like a rippling wave opening a new path. These forest arthropods are making a road for us, said Weiss with glee. Pleased at passing the test, TRW moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said TRW after a bit. Weiss spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Weiss finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, TRW picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. "Good heavens," said Weiss. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but I break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Weiss. Now answer it. TRW grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right, after all, this one is pretty easy. Enter the window. I'm going to guess sunlight. It's not a letter. It would be sunlight. I enter through the window, breaks no glass. When night falls, it vanishes because the moon comes out. Sunlight. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Weiss softly, I've never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey look, cried TRW, awakening Weiss from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Weiss saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Weiss? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? TRW walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open with a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began TRW, but before he could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but I end the night with 3. What am I? TRW tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in conversation, said Weiss, it seems we must answer his riddle. I suppose, said TRW. Well, at least it's an easy one. 4 legs? 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon? How the fuck? 4 in the morning, 2 at noon, I end the night with 3. I don't know this one. It's not a man. We don't have... It's not 4 legs in the morning. I have no idea. An angel? Is that right? As the words were spoken, TRW found himself covered in a snow of perfect white feathers. A warm, gentle feeling ran up his spine as a creature of unimaginable beauty shimmered into existence. TRW found himself unable to hold back tears as the being's voice rang out. You're incorrect, please make another choice. Okay, a demon? As soon as the words were spoken, the forest began to swell around them. Leaves browned and fell from the trees, branches withered and died, and the tall green grass shriveled into dark curls of ash. Massive demons slowly appeared before TRW unleashed a tremendous roar. Wrong, now try again. It is a man. How? I don't get that. 4 in the morning, 2 at noon, end the night with 3. I don't get it. I'm probably just being dumb, but yeah, I don't get that. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. Oh wait, if it was what was talking to me. Oh well, whatever. You're the mayor, cried TRW. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know, now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself. You saw what? I'm sorry, I don't understand the thing you just said. It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the Death Dream. Now you must go to the man at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As TRW watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When TRW and Weiss returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it. You actually made it back. His left hand grasped TRW's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Weiss by the cover and swung him through the air. Gah, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool. We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. TRW withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the Death Dream's seal, he said. At least, I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as TRW filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the three of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Wait a second. That's crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? This is one hell of a story. Fuck yeah it is. It's been going on for like 15 minutes. Jesus Christ. Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. TRW and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten, continued Weiss, it is the words that control the Death Dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. Sleep. What the heck? And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor, the first time I have felt tired since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. TRW shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. We made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an odd voice. We did it. I'm back. He blinked once, twice, as though not quite believing the sight before him. You two have no idea how much this means. The Death Dream has started to spread through our village and I wanted to, well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at TRW and shrugged. Without a word, the fighter reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to. A wry smile crossed the mayor's lips. You shall relearn in short order, I am sure, said Weiss. For now you should return to your home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying on unsteady feet. No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the Death Dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. This is a holy tree, he explained. When the prayer was finished. It's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Weiss. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse. TRW and Weiss could not contain their surprise. It seemed a goal had been found in the most unexpected of places. I say, muttered Weiss, this is certainly a stroke of luck. As the three of them said their goodbyes, TRW mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left them with. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself, muttered the mayor. What in the world? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. You know, he said softly, this is going to sound weird, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too. TRW tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figure it's just some kind of illusion created by the Death Dream. It probably doesn't mean anything. TRW gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. I wish I understood what the hell was going on here. That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all. Oh, thank you so much. Holy hell. Oh wow, we got the next sealed verse. Summon magical spikes in the ground to impale enemies. Yes! We got the execution. For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort. All a touch too easy, if you ask me. It's almost as if it was guiding us to this village. You think too much. Wow. Well, I went over like fucking 15 minutes longer than I was expecting. I was only expecting to go for 2 hours, but I completely forgot about that story segment. It was so good. Oh my god. I don't care if you don't like narratives or anything, you won't like that, but that was phenomenal. I don't care, that really was. Just because it's very descriptive and it's just fucking amazing. Anyway, seeing as now it's gone on for a bit longer, but whatever. We've got another sealed burst, we've gotten like fucking shitloads of them, so there can't be that many left. But that's going to be the end of this session, so as always I hope you've enjoyed, and until next time, take care.